The need for speed. Do you crave it? Well, Franz does. He is a 6-time world speed skiing champion. He even holds the North American record today at over 129 miles per hour. Let's find out how Franz got into the sport as a child and what keeps his adrenaline flowing today. Today's SnowMotion Chairlift interview is with Franz Weber, Olympian and 6-time world speed skiing champion. Wow.
Well, thanks for having me on the chair with you here, Brenda.
Yeah, what a treat. Do you like coming here to Vail?
I love coming here. I've been coming here over 30 years, and our annual reunion, as you know, the American Ski Classic brings all of us together, and it's probably it's the nicest event for former champions to mingle and catch up, and it's absolutely fantastic.
So why did you go into speed skiing? I'm always telling my kids, don't go so fast, be careful. And you were, what did your mother say, go faster?
Well, it's actually a funny story. When I was an 8-year-old child, I walked by a tailor shop in St. Anton. There was a poster of a speed skier who went over 100 miles an hour. And I was all excited, and I said, Mom, just, check this out. He said, son, whatever you do, don't do that. And ironically, my parents didn't know I went speed skiing. They found out through it in the paper. They were sitting at the breakfast, and my dad said, look, there's a guy in third place, the name of Franz Weber, and he races for Switzerland. What a coincidence, my mom said. Our son works in Switzerland. So they called, that's how they found out.
That is a good story. See, I don't think they listen to their mom and dad all the time, right?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that because I have 3 kids too, but it's beyond that already.
Okay, what was your fastest speed?
The fastest I've gone was 222 kilometers, or top speed, which is not the average speed, is over 140 miles an hour, 142.
What does it feel like?
Obviously fast, but it's you go through different stages. And it's not like the first run you start out that fast. You progressively work yourself up. You have different starting points, and they have an elimination system. So everyone who is not within 5% of the top speed gets eliminated. So let's see, if I go 100 miles an hour and someone goes 95 miles an hour and slower, is not allowed to go to the next higher starting point. And that's how it works out. You eliminate people, so eliminate the danger of getting anyone hurt. Usually when you go to world record speeds, there's usually never more than 10 tops 15 people left, which for the final run.
So well, obviously you need a good tuck, right? So you want to be as aerodynamic as possible.
They were very analytical, and I was very fortunate. I had a God-given build to have a long upper body, shorter legs, so I was able to put my armpits in front of my knees so I could close that gap so no wind can enter. So I could actually use my body as a foil, like for downforce or lift. And from experience, I could explain it all, but it takes a little longer. Yeah. You can adjust your traction on the snow, and then once you go over 120, 130 miles an hour, depending on the altitude, air temperature, how warm it is, less density, higher you go, less air density, there comes a point where the wind pressure gets so strong in your ski tips and you go in a cushion of air. And you kind of hydroplane, I call it the Mach 1 in skiing, and everything's smoothed out. And so your goal is always to go faster. So if you get a little crosswind, you start shifting off the course. If you make an adjustment with your hands, that's how you could make directional changes, but that slows you down. So we have those special helmets with a fin in the back, and it works like a rudder in an airplane. So that's how you keep your directional steering.
So you just move your head a little bit?
That's how you keep you staying left or right.
But isn't it a straight track, just straight on? Absolutely,
no, it's straight, and we have about 4 different tracks in the world where you also need a place where you can stop. And there's one track in Colorado here, in Silverton, where I still hold the North American record, which is set in 1983. So it's been a long time ago. On the bottom, there's a really sharp transition, and you hit about 4 to 5 Gs. So it's, like I said, you could probably go faster, but you're not able to withhold the pressure.
Wow. Have you ever fallen?
Unfortunately, a few times too fast. I've crashed a couple times at over 125 miles an hour. And if you believe it or not, crashing in speed skiing is safer than falling in the downhill, because we have those rubber suits, so you don't have resistance to the snow. All the equipment stays behind. Since you have no turns, you stay pretty much within the axis of the track in the fall line. And with that speed, it's like skipping a flat rock into the water. You don't tumble, you just skip. The only thing you have is friction burn. So I had done both times 30-degree friction burns just from sliding across the snow.
Who wants to do that?
You don't want to fall, but if you believe it or not, there's a guy by the name of Jeff Hamilton who was the first individual to go over 150 miles an hour, and he also holds the world record in the fastest crash. He crashed at over 150 miles an hour, and he's here to tell you about it. And it's not a record I'm going for.
No,
but,
good. Not anymore.
no,
anyway,
not anymore,
right?
for sure.
Wow. So do you think there's something crazy about speed skiers?
I don't know. I had never seen a group of athletes from such diverse backgrounds. You know, we had everything from from a surgeon to even a priest and motorcycle racers and everything. So it's a interesting group of characters.
Now that you're all done with speed skiing, what are you doing in your life?
Well, I was very fortunate to basically transition from the sport of skiing into other opportunities. I started a client hospitality in a sports management company. So we're creating experiences which can be duplicated all over the world for an amazing group of guests, which I could have never envisioned. We just came back from Europe, and what we do, we bring in legendary athletes like Franz, Alberto Domma, Mark Giardelli, which come in as social and leisure hosts for the groups. Guests must love it because they keep coming back.
Well, I know you do an amazing job with that, and so I think to have that special time to ski with world champions and people that have passion with the sport and they can share that.
Yeah, we don't keep it on exclusive to skiing. We go even on diving trips where we bring in champions. We doing bicycle trips and whatever you can dream up or people want to do. I'm just dreaming something up right now where we're doing speed skiing for the average speed skier, but we're doing within 48 hours, 2 world records for our personal bests on snow and on sand. When we're going after, we're doing that in Les Arcs and Franz, we go down to Namibia. So you may think you have a screw loose, but people are actually asking for those experiences.
I don't know about the speed skiing. I think there must have been something.
Think about this, if you can in a safe environment, you can go up because you don't know how fast you can go. Now, if it's in a safe environment, 90 miles an hour will feel to you like in a downhill going 40 miles an hour. You'll be really surprised. You go down, well, it's a personal best, you still feel comfortable, and you measure yourself and you go up, as long as you feel comfortable, and then before you know it, you get hooked on it.
I think it's an addiction. I think all the kids want to go fast. I mean, they all love to grow up to be a downhiller.
Do it in a safe environment.
Safe environment, yeah, safe environment. How do we find out? How does someone go skiing with you?
If you want to go skiing, you go on to www.franzweber.com and you can contact me through there and you can find out about our upcoming cycling adventures, rock climbing, speed flying with JT Holmes. And
Franz Weber has a good life. He's still chasing the adrenaline. Okay, we better go.